All right, everybody. Okay, it's been like a week now since my last workout. I haven't been working out. Here's the excuse train. You're ready to get on the excuse train? I've been that sickness that I had that I thought I got over. I don't think I actually got over it. I was feeling pretty tired all week, but also the 30,000 steps is rough and it takes its toll. I have to reserve time for that. And I had to get a video done that just went up today. I had to get it done in a very short amount of time, so it was a lot of editing, a lot of hours in the day, and some things have to be put aside. I talked about this last time, about how, sometimes you're going to put things aside. That doesn't mean you quit forever. I'm coming back to this. In the next couple of weeks, I don't have a due date, a specific due date for the next couple of weeks for a main channel video, so my time is going to be freed up a little more, ideally, plus the 30,000 steps a day will be done in like 5 or 6 days. So I will have more energy to do this, the workouts. And I'm thinking about maybe taking some of these workout videos and condensing them, editing them down to like short videos for all the stuff that I say, because I think there's some nuggets of wisdom in there. If for people who don't want to watch complete unedited exercise videos, but a lot of you, I see comments, you do like watching these, and it inspires you to work out along with me. And sorry that I didn't inspire you this week, but I'm back, baby. Maybe my app is telling my Copilot app is telling me it's telling me I don't have any workouts today, so I'm doing one from yesterday called Strength Circuit Push. And it's a bunch of arm stuff, some squats. Yeah, mostly arm stuff this time. That's cool because I'm getting plenty of leg action with the walking, even though it doesn't, it's not working out everything. But you know how it goes. There's some squats in here. That's good. But first we gotta make sure that anyone who doesn't belong here leaves by doing my Craig Cursion. Those of you that know. We're doing previous video on the screen, and singing some la-las to see what happens. Maybe eventually the la-las will turn into ooh-oohs. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's begin my workout. And this isn't going to happen throughout the video. This is just a section of the video, because it's a little experiment we're doing.
30 seconds of wall reach, press start to begin.
Oh, we're doing wall reach first. All right, we'll do it over here. Okay. Oh, the ceiling's too low here. Dang it. Well, I guess I gotta move the camera. No, but we gotta do Craig Cursion. Oh, I'm just gonna do the wall reach before we do Craig Cursion. Okay. Okay, wall reach before Craig Cursion. Because you gotta see the screen while I do Craig Cursion. That's the whole point, right? Even though the screen is like washed out and you don't really see anything. That's fine. Yeah.
10 seconds left.
There's like an infinite amount of screens there, but I can see, but it really only goes back like 1, 2, 3 before it gets washed out.
Up next is 30 seconds of bent over swimmer.
Here we go. Now we do Craig Cursion. Are you ready? I just said, okay, boop. Okay.
Start the next set.
All right. That was fun. Now we're doing SmackDown stretch. Move it forward a little bit. Yeah, this feels good. Haven't done this in a little while.
10 seconds
The
left.
30,000 steps a day challenge. There were some days there. I had to skip a few because I was sick, but then since then, I haven't skipped any, but I thought I was going
That's
to.
time. Up next
Some
is
days-
8 reps of dumbbell bench press with 40 pounds in each hand.
Some days I got really close. Like I surprised myself when I ended up actually doing it. We had a big storm a few nights ago. Tornado watch. Power went out. And even with the power out, I was walking around in a circle in our kitchen with my flashlight.
Start the next set.
I had to get 30,000 steps. Because I said I would. It's kind of dumb, but I did it. There are certain things about it that I think are definitely very valuable, getting the 30,000 steps, aside from the walking itself. I do think it's impractical and probably maybe even harmful to try to get it every day. I'm finding that it was easier to lose weight on 20,000 steps than 30,000 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is weird. 6, 7, because I think 30,000 just makes me hungrier and lower energy in my body's like, give me
In
Give me
35
some
seconds,
carbs.
do 15 reps of dumbbell shrug with 40 pounds in each hand.
Just craving. Like it's harder to not eat, I guess. Not that losing weight is the only goal, but like it is harder with. I think it's harder with 30,000 steps than it is with 20,000. Interestingly enough, 20,000 is the good sweet spot. 2, 3, 4. I don't know. 5. I don't know. 6.
It's time for 15 reps of dumbbell shrug with 40 pounds in each hand.
I'm gonna get real good at expressing that I don't know non-verbally with this exercise. It's important. More people should say I don't know more often. I think the world would be a better place. You ever see Forky on Disney?
Do 8 reps of dumbbell bench press
China.
with 40 pounds in each hand.
Ada, I just confused my wife with my daughter. Ada likes Forky. Character on Pixar, I think on Toy Story maybe 4. I don't know, I've never seen Toy Story 4. Could be on 3, I don't remember Forky in the movies. But it's actually a spork named Forky, voiced by the guy who played Buster on Arrested Development. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's hilarious. And the reason I bring it up is because I was saying I don't know. In the beginning, it's called Forky Asks a Question. They're just a series of shorts. Pretty funny, pretty darn funny stuff. And it starts with, Forky asks a question. I don't know. Like that. Anyway. 1.
It's time for 8 reps of dumbbell bench press with 40 pounds in each hand.
Ada will say that because it's funny. 5, 6, 7,
Looking good?
8. I can do more than 8, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold off. Let's not overdo
In
it.
35 seconds, do 15 reps of dumbbell shrug with 40 pounds in each hand.
Okay. I don't know. 2, 3, 4. Anyway, I highly recommend Forky. It's a good kids thing that adults can appreciate. 7, I think. 8. Another good kids thing that adults can appreciate that probably a lot of you already know about. Bluey. Bluey is the best kids show. It's the
It's
best
time
one.
for 15 reps of dumbbell
It's not
shrug
even
with 40
close.
pounds in each hand.
Maybe it's close to some others that I'm not thinking of. Sarah and Duck is pretty good. The Bluey, jeez, That's like every episode's like a well-crafted short story that belongs in a short story book from some literary author. That's how I would describe it. But it's like they're what's the name of the dog? Blue something, whatever they're called. I don't know dog breeds, but they're dogs, the characters. And it's a family, and the parents are just like the best possible parents to kids. It really does feel like parenting at times on the show. It's pretty realistic. If the parents were like
In 1 minute, do 8 reps of dumbbell
amazing,
bench press with 40 pounds.
playing kids games, amazing at playing kids games all the time with their kids. I also like kind of like Puppy Dog Pals, created by Harlan Williams, comedian. He's a hilarious comedian in his own right, but his show, Puppy Dog Pals, kids show. Puppy Dog Pals. Puppy Dog. I always do that backwards, I think. Pals. It's a good one. It's a good one. Oh, another good kid shot. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's time for 8 reps of dumbbell bench press with 40 pounds in each hand.
I mean, Ada's probably seen all of them. Ones that maybe you want to comment on right now, she's probably seen them.
Looking good?
There are many I don't like. And I really don't, and there's a lot of like
In 35 seconds, do 15 reps
random
of dumbbell shrug with 40 pounds in each hand.
YouTube channels for kids that I don't like at all, that are like just ripping off the mainstream kid shows, just grabbing the dolls of them and reenacting stuff in a much worse way. But Ada likes watching those too. 2, 3, and I'm not gonna yuck her yum until she's older, and I'll be like, listen, kid,
It's time for 15
I'm gonna write you a
reps of dumbbell
review
shrug with
of all
40
these kid
pounds in each
shows
hand.
and tell you which ones are crap. No, I probably won't do that. Think back to like when I was a kid, I watched a lot of kid shows, but I could only watch what was on. But I think there were more just on because that was the only option. Disney afternoon, after school, there was a string of cartoons, DuckTales, Rescue Rangers,
In 1 minute, do 8 reps of dumbbell
Tailspin,
bench press with 40 pounds in each
Darkwing
hand.
Duck. Probably some I'm forgetting it. In the morning, there was always Ninja Turtles. Before school, I remember watching an episode or 2 of Ninja Turtle. Probably just one. They probably only had one on. Muppet Babies. Muppet Babies. Looney Tunes. I just liked a lot. Looney Tunes was old even when I was a kid, but I liked the Looney Tunes. Goof Troop. I never really got that into Goof Troop. Animaniacs. Oh, Animaniacs was good. And Tiny Toons. Tiny Toons. Oh my gosh. That's how I think how I was introduced to They Might Be Giants. They had an episode. They were on an episode. There was like
It's
a
time
series
for 8
of
reps of dumbbell
They
bench
Might Be
press with 40
Giants
pounds in each hand.
music videos on Tiny Toons, including Triangle Man and I think Istanbul. Constantinople was on there. Animaniacs, though. Did any of you? I don't know. Some of you probably remember Animaniacs. Some of you might not know what I'm talking about. We're Animaniacs.
In 35 seconds, do 15 reps of dumbbell shrug with 40 pounds in each hand.
How many times am I doing these? Dot is cute and Yakko. I'm doing them 4 times. This is the last one. And Yakko yaks. Wacko packs away the snacks. There's baloney in their slacks. They're animani, totally insaney. And then there was a line that was different every time right here that rhymed. Shirley MacLaine, Animaniacs. Those are the facts. Oh. Animaniacs was really good.
15 reps of dumbbell shrug with 40 pounds in each hand.
Clever, very clever. More clever than a kid necessarily needs. I think I was a little older, so I understood it more. But like if I were in kindergarten, I probably wouldn't have got it. But very meta jokes, very like inside Hollywood jokes.
In 1 minute, do 10 reps per side of forward lunge.
They should bring back Animaniacs. The Pinky and the Brain. Most people know Pinky and the Brain. I think that was a meme. What do you want to do tonight, Brian? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try and take over the world. Is it try to take over or try and take over? I don't remember. Ooh, I don't need weights for this. Just a lunge. Okay. And then Good Feathers, which was a bunch of pigeons, and it was like a parody of Goodfellas. Like, for kids, why would you make a parody of Goodfellas? There were no rules back then. It's because there was less entertainment, so there was a chance kids had seen Goodfellas. Nowadays, it seems it's pretty easy for a kid to stay watching kid things because they can watch them anytime they want.
Per side of forward lunge.
I wonder, I feel like I learned a lot about adulthood just by watching TV, which might not be a good thing. But I wonder how Ada's going to learn about adulthood. Adulthood's probably going to be different by the time she's an adult than it was for me, is for me. These are all things a modern day parent thinks about. I don't know how many of those I just did. That's probably good.
Up next is 12 reps of dumbbell front squat with 20 pounds in each hand.
My parents used to let me watch kind of whatever. Probably not porn, but it wasn't so readily available back then. Anyway, but I could watch R-rated movies. I didn't even really know what movies were rated because my parents didn't really care. But sometimes I'd talk to movies with friends and be like, "What's it rated? I don't think I can watch that." And I'm like, "What? I don't understand." That'll do. And I turned out okay. I remember my sister
seconds, do 10 reps per
would watch a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street. So I watched Nightmare on Elm Street when I was pretty young. Some pretty scary and gory horror. I was scared of it, but I watched it. And now horror movies tend to not scare me at all. And most of them I don't like. Not because I'm afraid of them. I just think it's just not the kind of entertainment I'm looking for.
It's time for 10 reps per side of
being scared. I don't want to yuck anyone's yum here, but horror movies usually don't do it for me. It's not what I'm looking for in a movie. And it might be because of all the horror movies I watched at a young age. I was desensitized. Often it'll be the case where people will be raving about a horror movie. And I'm like, okay, maybe this one is going to be good. I'm usually disappointed. I did that video, I think 2 years ago, about horror movies. I watched like 5 of them. I try to keep an open mind and be positive about them, and some of them were pretty good. Most of them I didn't like.
Up next is 12 reps of dumbbell.
I liked kind of
pounds in each hand.
like It Follows. I liked the idea; it was pretty clever, and I liked the tone and the mood of it. But thinking back, it was pretty good. I don't know. Hereditary. That's one that everyone says is amazing. Pretty good again. I don't know. They just don't do it for me that
Start
much.
the next set.
Even well-reviewed, highly rated ones, often. I think my favorite horror, until I think of another one, is probably Scream, the first Scream. I did like that a lot. And I think it's because, to me, it's like a comedy mystery more than a horror movie. And I like comedy mystery. I've seen Scream 2 in the theater. I remember not liking it that much. Or liking it kind of. But I do want to watch all of those. I want to give it a try. Oh, yeah, I saw 3 as well. And I remember thinking that one was really silly. Like they really camped it up. That one they made more of a comedy. And I appreciate that about it. But it's been a long time, I don't remember. I should watch all the Scream movies. And be prepared to be as disappointed as I am usually with a horror movie. I do like the first Nightmare on Elm Street quite a bit. Or I did. I don't know, it's been a while. Psycho.
Time for 10 reps per
The
side.
Birds. I like Hitchcock. Again, I don't necessarily think of those as horror movies. Jaws also. Not really. To me, that's more like a suspense monster movie. But I guess some monster movies you could consider horror movies. I don't know. I think it might be considered a horror movie, but it has other things about it. I think that is why I like it. Also, Spielberg, just like Spielberg. Just his direction, his characterizations, his dialogue, camera movements, everything the way a Spielberg movie works often works in my brain. Jurassic Park, love Jurassic Park, which you could also consider horror, I suppose. The Shining, I like The Shining, but you know, I only kind of liked it.
Up next is 12 reps of dumbbell front squat with 20 pounds in each hand.
I think visually it's like Stanley Kubrick. It's like visually really interesting and really well done and kind of unique for a horror. It's a lot of silence, a lot of mood. And Jack Nicholson's performance, everyone's performance, really good, especially for a Stanley Kubrick movie. He doesn't tend to focus on the acting all that much.
Start the next set.
But also, like, I don't know. I mean, obviously it was intentional, but it left me feeling cold. When you think about how it ended, that's a pun,
Slow down.
not intended. But, I don't know. Creepy, interesting, but still, I don't know. I'm fine. It's okay to me. I think I was expecting to be more scared, actually, because people say how terrifying that movie is. I think maybe the scariness kind of aged out of it.
In 35 seconds, do
One of the
10 reps
scariest
per side.
things I can think of in a movie, something that really affected me, which isn't even a horror movie, technically. We're doing everything 4 times this time. Okay, is one scene in Mulholland Drive, the David Lynch movie. I'm also not that big of a David Lynch fan. I often don't like.
10 reps per side of forward lunge.
I think I like more plots that make sense in my movies. But I've seen a lot of David Lynch movies, and I appreciate what he's going for. But there's one scene in Mulholland Drive that it's 2 dudes, one of them telling the other about a dream he had, and I think this is their only appearance in the movie. The movie's very episodic. I think it was originally going to be a TV show.
Next is 12 reps of dumbbell front squat.
Like, and then they never return in the movie, but or maybe they do a little bit. I don't remember the movie that well. But one dude telling another dude his dream. I was watching this, in the house me and friends lived in college, but I was the only one home in this old house. All the lights off, except the light from the TV in the living room. And
Start the next set.
he's telling him the dream he had and about this like crazy monster or something in the dream that terrified him. And then he gets up, they're in a restaurant, he gets up, he leaves the restaurant, and he like, I guess he just senses something over by the dumpster. And he walks over to the dumpster.
Looking good?
And you know something's gonna happen that's gonna make you jump or something. Like, it's not, they're not even hiding that. It slowly goes around
5 seconds. Do 10
the corner
reps of dumbbell chest fly with
to the dumpster. And then this just like monstery looking thing peeks its head around. And I don't know, I guess the sound plays, I don't remember. It truly is a terrifying looking thing. Like exactly what you'd expect. Exactly what I expected happened. And my heart started racing. And I had to stand up, pause the movie, walk around, turn the lights on in the house. Because
time for 10 reps of dumbbell chest fly with 50
I was legitimately scared of this just image that I knew was coming. But it promised and delivered. And I bet if I watch it now, it wouldn't nearly be as effective. I don't know, I haven't tried. But just the right time, the lights all off, it terrified me. And then it's not even a horror movie. It's not even, nothing else in the movie is that scary. I mean, it's weird and unsettling of a movie, but like, I don't know. That deeply affected me for some reason. Good job, David Lynch. And then the third act of the movie happened, and I was confused and didn't care. That's my review of that movie.
Looking good?
I think that's 10, 15 pounds might be too light for this. But I don't know how many, I'm only doing 2, I think.
Up next is 8 reps
but I also
of
got
dumbbell
it.
skull crusher with 15 pounds in each.
Gotta do this. Skull Crusher. The name of this one. Much more intense than it actually is. I mean, it might look like I'm crushing my skull from the side. I think I'm supposed to do 8, and I think I've already done 8. Okay. Good. Keep her moving.
Up
Okay.
next is 30 seconds of windmill.
Windmill. Again. Wait, no, this isn't. This is just windmill. This isn't. Okay, interesting. Similar to the SmackDown, but in the center. It is a mild distinction. I loved Twilight Zone, the old original Twilight Zone. But again, that wasn't really scary to me. It was more
10 seconds left.
the plots, like the surprise endings. Like, I enjoyed a surprise ending. I enjoyed being surprised. Ugh. It's like each episode's a puzzle.
In 35 seconds, do 10 reps of dumbbell chest fly with 15 pounds in each.
But I'm not, I guess maybe it's that I'm not looking for that kind of visceral reaction from a movie. Like, I watch a movie, if I watch a horror movie and I come away being like, oh yeah, my spine's tingling, that doesn't feel like necessarily a positive thing for me. I don't know.
It's time for 10 reps.
Oh, I should
dumbbell
move.
chest fly with 15.
All that said, my friend Jake Jarvie, who you may have seen in some of my older videos, and Rob Scallon videos, he made a horror movie, and I'm in it. And I helped fund it. And I think it's great. And Jake knows how I feel about horror movies. But I
Looking good?
really like his. And I can't remember if it's available anywhere right now. If it is, I will definitely link. It's called Haunt Season. When's it available,
Up next
Jake?
is 30 seconds of windmill.
Go to Pineapple Boy Films. Go to youtube.com/Pineapple Boy Films or Jake Jarvie. And his channel will give you all the info that he has at this point about the movie. Also, the long web series that he made, that I'm in, called Platoon of Power Squadron. We did that over a period of like 9 years. Many of you, I'm sure, know about that already.
In 35 seconds,
It's hard for me to know. I always have to speak as if you don't know, because there are some of you who don't, who are newer to the channel, in the last 5 years newer. New is a very relative term. Platoon of Power Squadron. It is weird to think that I've been doing this for 17 years. Actually, yeah, in like a week or 2 weeks, it will be exactly 17 years since my first video. And
10 seconds left.
it doesn't feel that long. It all feels still new. People used to call this new media. It still feels like new media to me. 17 years feels like new media to me, which is weird because
Right side.
you talk to me in, like, say 1995 when I'm 15 years old.
Start the next set.
17 years ago would have been before I was born, 1978. That would have felt ancient to me. Completely different era of entertainment. And maybe I'm sure this is just how it goes when you get older. But also, I do think there are more similarities now to 17 years ago than there was from like 1995 to 17 years ago. I think
10 seconds left.
Media has changed less. I think like between like 2007 to like 2015,
Up next is
2000, maybe 2012, that span, massive change happened. Like 2005 or 6 to 2012.
Start the next set.
There was some massive change to the world. Social media, birth of social media, the iPhone, YouTube, and then camera quality really bumped up. That's when like the DSLR cameras, like I'm not using, technically I'm using a mirrorless camera right now, but similar to
10
DSLR,
seconds left.
like you can get this quality of video for much cheaper. That happened between like 2007 and 2012. And then like 2012 to like
Up next is 30
15,
seconds
16,
of tricep stretch.
it became easier to get 4K video. But that's not as big of a leap to me in quality
Start the next set.
as like old mini DV tapes and to like DSLR cameras, HD. That's less quality than like standard definition to HD to me. HD to 4K is less of a difference because that's so big that you need a really big screen to see much
10
difference.
seconds left.
So like, look, if we're just talking like visual quality, looking at say like 1995
That's
visual
time.
quality compared
Next
to
is 30 seconds of lying
the
hamstring
70s, 90s to 70s. To me, as a kid, that looked very different. And then you got like CG, like Jurassic Park. That was like 94, I think. Like movies in general and TV just looked older in the 70s and the 60s compared to like the 90s. But I think from like 2012 to now, it's hard to even tell.
10 seconds left.
It's hard to tell, like just based on visual quality alone, that it's old. Everything has gotten so digital
That's time. Up next is
and
30
so
seconds of lying
higher
hamstring
quality
stretch.
that
Right
I
side.
feel like there's less room to grow to get it even better.
Start the next set.
What's changing is the way we get media, like getting it on your TikTok and like short form, and the way you can upload and the way you can make things. Like it's becoming easier for anyone to do like more complicated graphics
10 seconds left.
and make things look good and color correct, and the knowledge of it is becoming more widespread, and the access to that technology has become more widespread. But that's not like
That's time.
a giant leap
Up next is 30 seconds.
in actual just technical quality. That's just a leap in access, I guess. You see what I'm saying? Like, it seems to me like, thinking back to 2012 and now comparing what I have access to and what I make and the visual quality of it, it's not that different. I look younger in video, but it's not
10 seconds
so
left.
extremely different. There's subtle differences, sure. But, I mean, like, I shoot in 4K now, but,
That's time.
and it's a little
Up next
more
is 30
crystal
seconds
clear.
of figure 4 stretch. Right side.
All that to say, like, 17 years of doing this feels shorter to me.
Start the next set.
And this could also be a product of age, but it feels shorter to me than I thought it might. Like 17 years ago feels less different to me. Despite all the changes we've gone through as a society, it doesn't feel like as much change
10 seconds.
as, like, say, 1975 to 1995 or something.
That's time. Nice job.
And I might be just speaking out of my butt here, and I might be way off in the way younger people feel about this, but I don't want to sound like an old man, but hey, I'm an older man. I'm 43. But it does feel
Enjoy
like
the rest of your day.
change in some ways has slowed down. I mean, everyone's getting crazy about AI, and I think that's going to make a lot of things easier. I don't believe that it's going to be as much a sea change as people think. I think it is going to be a sea change as far as how easy it is to create things, maybe. And certain aspects of technology will be easier and more accessible. Plus, like, maybe deep fakes and everything. I don't think visually we're really there where in some examples it's hard to distinguish what's AI and what isn't. But whenever I see like posts that are just pure AI art or pure AI video, it always has a quality to it that's kind of gross. That feels gross to me, just on a visceral level. And maybe that'll get better and change, but it doesn't. It's a different kind of change, and it feels slower. It feels like I could pick up my camera that I bought in like 2009, 2010, and shoot a video on it. No one would probably even notice. I've loaned that camera to someone else right now, but I bet I could do that and no one would notice. It'd be a little bit more clunky for me to use, but it's not that different, is my point. And 17 years, I've been doing this for 17 years, but it feels a lot the same as it did then. I bet people who worked in the entertainment industry in 1995 and also in 1975, they probably felt like everything was much different in the way that things were done. Maybe not. Maybe it felt the same to them too. But everything feels kind of the same to me, except now there's short form, and that's still kind of the same. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just talking out of my butt. What, am I going to title this video about that subject, or I'm going to talk about kids shows? I'm going to say kids. This will be like all the kids shows I like. These are the best kids shows, or something like that. That could be the title. So let's do a thumbnail that has to do with kids show. That doesn't make any sense. Do I have anything kids show related around here? No. Whatever. I could put an image up. Thumbnail. All right. Thank you, everybody. Oh yeah, main channel video. just went up today, not too long before this. It is seven harsh truths that you might need to hear. It's a motivation video. It's to help you get you motivated to do things, and I think it's pretty good. You want to check it out? I think that'll be on screen eventually. And Sunday, noon Central, I'm doing a Jackbox Games Hangout on Patreon. You support me on Patreon. You can do the Jackbox Games Hangout, noon Central Sunday. Could be fun. Be the first one. Get in on the ground floor. You know what that gets you? Just being at the Jackbox Games before others might do it. Who might do it later? That's what it gets you. Okay. That is all. I will try to do more of these. I'll try to be a better person. We should all try to be better people all the time, right? Okay. I'm saying goodbye up there too. How about that? Bye.